News for Coventry and Warwickshire.
Coming up in today's programme, we will be reporting on the weekend's commemorations as the city came together to mark the 85th anniversary of the Coventry Blitz. We'll also be getting Christmassy at a local craft market and then swinging over to the rise of paddle, because who doesn't love a sport where you can intentionally whack something? This weekend, Coventry remembered a night which changed the city forever. On the 14th of November 1940, the German Luftwaffe dropped 36,000 bombs on Coventry, destroying countless homes and killing more than 550 people.
One event this weekend focused on the story of a soldier and his company. 1 month before the infamous Blitz, they've transported and defused a bomb from the city centre to protect the people giving their lives in the process. Our reporter Joseph Banks was there to tell us more.
Last Saturday, in honour of the 85th anniversary of the Coventry Blitz, local group Talking Birds held a performance in the ruins of the Coventry Cathedral in honour of 2nd Lieutenant St Campbell, who, on the 17th of October 1940, put himself at great risk to remove an explosive shell that failed to explode at the triumphing engineering works, and spent a day with the explosive, ensuring the safety of everyone involved in the device's defusal. The bomb was safely detonated, but Campbell sadly died the following day, dealing with a different explosive. The performance saw 2 actors moving throughout the ruins and into the new cathedral, with a gathered crowd of over 100 people following or even participating in the event, when the bomb was transported by the crowd to symbolise Campbell's journey with it, where he lied in wait to hear if the trigger mechanism had activated so he could warn the driver to save himself. With great music and incredible singing to accompany the acting, it delivered in setting the scene of a heroic tragedy as everyone watched in awe-filled silence. I spoke to one observer about what he thought of the group's performance.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It's great to see a lot of people coming together in such a tragic event. The group that was on, I think it was 2 people. The singing was just immaculate. I loved it. Yeah, as a local, I'm just glad that this event hasn't been forgotten. You think that in light of recent events, you think that everyone just chucked it away, but I'm glad it's still being talked about.
The group behind the show, Talking Birds, hosted several exhibitions within the cathedral after the performance ended, from showcasing buildings and streets in Coventry that were hit by the Luftwaffe bombings, to a Q&A session with some of the leading members of their troupe explaining the production process and symbolism behind their actions and props used, such as the likening of the bomb to a sleeping baby.
Well, we always wanted to resist being too literal. I did get offered a 50-kilogram German bomb. But we didn't want to go that literal with it, and also, yeah, as soon as I described it to Andrea and Paula, they both said it's like a baby, and so it's like there's something in that. So, and I guess you read into it what you like as well in terms of what does that represent for you in this space, and I wouldn't like to tell you what it means because that's kind of that's up to you.
They explained how the idea spawned from talking to one of the people evacuated from Coventry's 2008 bomb disposal story that threatened the city centre within a 500-metre radius, and how they wanted to honour and preserve the legacy of both the 1940 and the 2008 stories. Preventing either story from being forgotten, Campbell and the men in his company were memorialised in the arts, with a headstone celebrating the heroism placed at Whitley Common. This is Joseph Banks, signing off.
Of this bombing raid still have significant importance today, as they have left lasting effects on the city's architecture. However, one of the remarkable stories of the night was the survival of the local Trinity Church. One building that did stay standing was the Holy Trinity Church in the city centre, protected in part by the resident vicar. Samuel Crawley visited the church as part of the commemorations.
Coventry's Trinity Church, the last of 3 holy sites left standing after the 1944 Blitz, is still going strong today. And in 2025, it's healthier than ever. Today, the church marks its 85th year since the bombs first fell. The church is honouring that history with a powerful commemorative talk and a short tour highlighting the scars that remain.
The Holy Trinity, as you can see, survived. when so much of the city burnt. There were 2 massive raids, as well as 17 smaller ones, but the main one took place on the night of November 14th, 19. Just a huge proportion of the city was set ablaze that night, and it lost something like half its housing stock.
The church was able to survive due to excellent planning by Vicar Graham Clitheroe, but it still sustained minor damage after its Marl Chapel took a hit from an incendiary. The main damage, however, was taken by the windows at the back of the church, which were blown through by the crashing of bombs. The new windows, which can be seen here, were installed in 1956 and are known as the bride's windows, as they were paid for by extra fees added on to weddings at the time.
I have taken 2 groups around the church to explain the longer history of Holy Trinity, going right back to its founding in the 12th century. Coventry is famous for having 3 tall church spires, and all those 3 still survive, but we are the only church where the spire and the church nave are still standing fully intact. We have looked at the Doom painting, which is painting above the arch of the main nave. That is 600 years old and one of the best examples in Europe probably of a Doom painting, and again would have been lost if this church had burnt down in the war.
It really shows how amazing the history of Coventry truly is.
It does, Becca. As part of the weekend's commemorations, the local community came together to rebuild the cathedral out of cardboard. George Cooper went along to see the creation come to life. It started feeling a lot like Christmas. The lights went on in Leamington Spa yesterday, and Birmingham Christmas Market is well underway.
And there are also lots of smaller community events going on too, including the annual Burton Green Village Fair. Will Roberts went along to find out why it's such a vital part of the village calendar.
It might only be mid-November, but Burton Green is already embracing the festive spirit. A chance to gather around over tea and cake, children proudly selling the Christmas cards they've worked hard to make. It's Jill Lyne's last year running the event after many years in charge.
We do quite a few events during the year, but this is our Christmas one. And obviously, as you'll see, we've got lots of different stalls, 23 in fact. Oh, I think the community enjoy it. You can see how many people we've had here today. We also put on wonderful lunches and homemade cakes, all made by villagers or stall holders, some of them. This year we've got 2 or 3 new ones, which is nice. I'm of the old school. I would have this sort of thing all the time. I think it brings people in a village like Burton Green. We're quite close. We've got this beautiful hall, so we have lots of events here.
Local charities also partake in stalls such as this. We spoke to Lucy Warrener from Spencer's Retreat to hear more about why she's here and what her charity does.
It's a really lovely event. It's quite early, so it's kind of the first Christmas event of the year that most of us do. And it's busy, it's friendly, we fundraise some money, and it's just really nice to be part of the community and to fundraise a bit of money for our charity. We run a small farm of 5.2 acres for children and adults with special needs, disabilities such as autism, ADHD, neurodiversity and physical disabilities. And we offer a calm, quiet, understanding space where families can come and relax and spend time together.
It's nice to hear the Burton Green are keeping community in their hearts this Christmas. Back to you, Harrison and Libby.
Now we're going to go back to the Coventry Blitz history as we have George's package here now.
Today we stand in the quiet shadows of Coventry's old cathedral. Its walls opened up to the sky and its scars untouched. 85 years ago, these stones shook under fire. Flames rose where prayers once did, and a city was forever changed. In Broadgate, a monumental sculpture has risen, a 20-metre-high cardboard interpretation of the cathedral ruins, made from thousands of pieces of cardboard, as well as the hard work of volunteers. Local families, schools, and other community groups gathered for free workshops in Draper's Hall. On Saturday, the 15th of November, the sculpture was built and it was pulled down the following day, creating a powerful metaphor on the sudden loss of Coventry's cathedral 85 years ago. And organiser John Holgan expresses the reason and sentiment behind this project, as well as sharing light into the environmental considerations.
clearly the sculpture, the building that we're creating, that inspiration of the old cathedral to commemorate the Blitz, we're making it out of cardboard. You know, it's recyclable. It fits our message of sustainability here in the city. And of course, it's something that everyone can get involved in. Whether you're small or tall, whether you're old or young, anybody can bend cardboard and help build this structure.
The installation was created by internationally acclaimed artist Olivier Grosquet and weighed more than a ton. Yet its true weight comes from its meaning. It symbolized remembrance, resilience, and unity.
To represent the architecture, each construction is different. Depend the country, the history of the city, and we build with the audience. For each project, we made the workshop during 5 days for prepare all specific pieces, and after we build the top before, and after with the audience, we lift up the construction and slide new pieces in bottom.
The shared construction is more than just a project. It was an act of healing. In coming together, Coventry is honouring its past and renewing its commitment to peace. Through creativity and through community, Coventry has rebuilt not just a structure, but its spirit.
News now. A man who was arrested following the discovery of a body in Leicestershire has been released on bail. Police have said Max Walsh's body was discovered in the village of Snarestone in Leicestershire on Saturday afternoon. Mr Walsh, who was 21, was reported missing after he failed to return home from work in Warwickshire on Thursday, which is where he had last been seen. Police have not yet said why the 66-year-old man was arrested.
A non-league football match in Coventry on Saturday had to be abandoned after reports of sexist abuse directed towards a female referee. The Northern Premier League's game between Coventry Sphinx Football Club and AFC Rushden Diamonds was called off at half-time after the referee reported a comment of a sexist nature was directed towards her. Coventry Sphinx have said discriminatory language or actions have no place at Coventry Sphinx, nor should they in any walk of life. AFC have also released a similar statement. A pocket watch made in Coventry in 1907 has set a new world record after being sold at an auction in Switzerland. Cole player 31 from Coventry said the antique crafted by his great-great-grandfather set a new record with auctioneers. It sold 2 million Swiss francs, equivalent to 2.1 million. The timepieces include moon phases, an alarm, a thermometer, and has been described as one of the world's most complicated vintage pocket watches ever made.
The Warwickshire Community Group Talk Dementia have been awarded the King's Award for Voluntary Service. They provide practical advice and emotional support to those families of dementia carers living locally within South Warwickshire and the North Cotswolds. Founder Paul Dowler said, "It's incredible really that dementia is such a cruel illness, and ironically because we have both been through it. Here we are." The King's Award for Voluntary Service aims to recognise outstanding work by local volunteer groups to support their communities, and it was created in 2002 to celebrate the Queen's Golden Jubilee. Storm Claudia is still creating delays across England. The Met Office issued an amber weather warning over the weekend for much of the Midlands, including Coventry and Leamington Spa, which saw up to a month's worth of rainfall in just 24 hours. A Leamington Spa Princess Drive has been victim to extreme flooding since the early hours of Friday, causing local traffic to build up with long delays.
It started feeling a lot like Christmas.
We've done that bit. This one.
If you haven't heard of paddle, you must be hiding under a rock. It's the fastest growing sport in the world, and courts have been popping up all around the country, and the West Midlands is no conception. I've been along to investigate what makes the game so appealing. Paddle has become the fastest growing sport that is beloved worldwide in recent years. Paddle is so popular because it is easy to learn, social and fun, but challenging to master. Its focus on doubles, the use of walls in play, and the sport's casual atmosphere also fosters social interaction and a lively, engaging experience. There are approximately 1,000 paddle courts in the UK as of July 2025, a figure that has rapidly grown from just over 200 in late 2022. Connect Paddle has found its home in Birmingham, where players can improve their game. I have spoken to Charlie Thompson about how Connect Paddle can help the West Midlands community after recently opening 3 months ago.
In terms of what we're trying to do in the community, so Connect Paddle UK is a business. We're committed at every single one of our venues to offering 1,000 hours of free court time to members of the local community, particularly schools and charities. And that's a way that we think that we want to try and make paddle as accessible as possible. It goes without saying, and it's pretty well known that paddle is not the cheapest sport. Even though we try and keep our court booking fees as affordable as we can, it's not affordable for everyone. So by giving away these free hours to local schools and to local charities, we're trying to allow as many people as possible the opportunity to give paddle a try.
This concept is so important because the limited number of courts has not yet caught up with the increasing interest, leading to higher prices to manage booking times and revenue. The rules are simple, and even those with no prior racket sport experience can start having fun quickly. Paddle is almost exclusively played in doubles, which encourages camaraderie and makes it a very social activity for friends and family. The enclosed court and the use of walls leads to fast-paced and unpredictable rallies that are exciting for players and spectators. I have spoken to paddle YouTuber James Bartram about the reasons behind him getting addicted to the sport.
It's very easy to pick up, but the level of mastery that you need to get to even just raise your level up a little bit is crazy. And one of the cool things with it being so accessible is, I get to, and as well as other people, they get to either be coached by some of the top players in the country, or they get to play with some of the top players in the country. And it's mad to do that in a sport. You wouldn't be able to do that in tennis. They just wouldn't be available for it. So it's that level of accessibility.
The health benefits are second to none, as it provides a great workout through constant movement on the court and even helps improve hand-eye coordination. The less powerful shots and slower ball speed reduces the risk of injuries like tennis elbow. Athletes and celebrities like Cristiano Ronaldo and Rafael Nadal have publicly endorsed the sport, increasing its visibility. The community aspect is one of the many reasons why people pick up the racket, so you'll be reaping the rewards if you do so. Are first in the championship table, having won 4 from the last 5 games. The Sky Blues will be looking for their 3rd win in a row as they take on West Brom at the CBS Arena on Saturday. Will their good fortune continue as Frank Lampard aims for promotion?
Coventry Rugby are 9th in the championship table. They comfortably beat Amped Hill at 68-26 over the weekend. Coventry's next match is against the Doncaster Knights, and they could potentially move up to the 7th if their team wins. That's all for the sports. Now we can head over to the weather.
Tonight we'll see a gradual increase in the clouds covering the sky, though the odd clear spell can be expected at times. It should remain dry, however. We haven't escaped the bad weather yet, so maybe 1 or 2 showers to come throughout the night. Tomorrow will begin dry and bright, with highs of 5 degrees and lows of 2. The afternoon, however, will see clouds and light rain moving in from the west, with some clear spells developing around the evening. And for the rest of the week, the weather seems to be looking up, with plenty of sunshine and happiness. But remember to wrap up warm, as temperatures will be staying low, with highs of 6 and lows of 0 degrees. So we might have to start setting our alarms 5 minutes earlier to de-ice the car, won't we, Becca?
Yes, we will, Joseph. I'll definitely have my ice scraper at the ready. That's all from us today at Covfeed. We hope you have a lovely rest of your week. For more information, visit Covfeed, and we hope to see you soon.